American champions versus the European champions, the North American MVP versus the European MVP. Could you ask for a better winners finals carpet?
Not just that, but what is there to say? Number one against number one. This is probably going to be the closest match that we've seen here so far. And I don't even know if I can possibly say that because we've had so many close matches. I think both teams are very confident going in. At least they've gotten where they wanted. You heard it from Garrett himself. They wanted 3, 4. They just wanted to at least make it into the top 4. They've done that already. At this point, I think the stress is probably off of them. They've broken all those emotional barriers, all those mental barriers. They beat an EU team, and they knocked down Flipside, who is now out of the tournament. So one of their biggest threats is no longer there.
Now, I want to call out Gibbs here, because Mystic said that Gibbs' support was a big part of what has driven them, and he just turned his back on them and calling NRG. But I don't think it will matter in the end. I believe Mocket is here to play. NRG in the blue, or in the orange. Mocket in the blue. We'll get set to go here on DFH for our winners finals. It's a best of 7. We'll go. Kickoff 1 by Mocket. They'll have the ball in the orange. Jacob with the clear upfield. Be able to follow it up, getting bumped alongside the ball. And it'll be a Fairy Peak onto the backboard. Misses contact, Fireburner over to the side. Mystic with the follow-up shot towards the net, cleared by Jacob, sent away. Now they'll move into the blue, just let the ball roll across. K-Dop goes for a clear, but Fireburner with the read. Garrett up with the shot, he'll put it down, and NRG strikes first.
Early on, you can see communication coming up. Jacob wanted to get a cheeky pass from the net of Mocket, but he decides to bail on it. He front flips, gets in the way of Fairy Peak, incidentally on his way to try something weird. He went to go bail, but Garrett, he'll never miss a shot like that.
The setup and then the shot. Also the zone there from Jacob, the 3-man play coming through for NRG. They strike first here in our winners finals. K-Dop will take another shot towards the net, cleared by Fireburner. Jacob with the transition to the midfield. Fireburner misses that one underneath Mystic. Fairy Peak will back pass. Passing plays from Mocket Esports. Trying to methodically move this ball slowly into the orange, but Fairy Peak missing that one there will open up an opportunity for NRG. They'll put it back out to midfield. Fireburner will bail on this one as he saw Mystic airborne. Mystic also will back off. Ball move laterally across the field. We'll see NRG pushing into the blue.
A lot of unanswered balls in the middle from both teams. They're trying to respect and trust each other. No one wants to overcommit, but right now, NRG in the lead. They just need to play safe.
Garrett G off the side wall. Fairy Peak will pick it up after that bounce. Jacob into the blue. Fairy Peak in the back will move up first. The ball will fly all the way back to the goal. Garrett G over to the side. Fireburner rotating to try and pick it up. Oh, but Mystic right there in front of the net does not make contact. Garrett G will rotate and allow Jacob to move out. Cleared across the mid. Fireburner up with the follow-up. Jacob lurking in front of the net, into the corner, bouncing back to his teammate, but Mystic's there first. He takes a shot towards the net, cleared again by the defender.
Oh, placed well by Garrett, to the corner. Will he follow this up? Is that right? And it is!
It just dropped straight in, bar down, and we got a 2-goal game.
Perfectly into the corner. Garrett clears it himself, follows it up with one more touch, beating Fairy Peak, their last defender. A midfield shot, 2 goals up, 3 minutes left.
The player who became known as Oh My Garrett last season for his ridiculous offense has moved into being a defender, but yet still can transition out and score when needed. And you see it here now, NRG up by 2 in game number 1. Jacob over the side, Garrett hanging in the goal. Gets some support from his teammate Fireburner. Mystic down there will look to drop this one in, but a soft touch. Garrett G will be able to pinch it high. Fireburner with the follow-up over into the blue. K-Dop now airborne, just looking to pass to Fairy Peak. We'll get it and transition straight back out. The 1-2 touch to put the ball straight back into the orange. Jacob off the wall. To the side, K-Dop there first. Out to Fireburner, Jacob. To the side, Fireburner and Garrett a little bit of misdirection created, and Garrett G will be able to take a shot towards the backboard, cleared easily by Mystic, and it'll wrap back out to midfield. There's Fireburner. The midfield setup now coming through for NRG. Jacob will take a shot on the open, then finds a gap in the rotation. 3 goals now for the North Americans.
NRG playing safe pressure, but that first shot about probably 5 seconds before this, 2 defenders went up for it. They knew they just had to keep up the pressure. A hard clear to the backboard again, and it resulted, or at least a bad touch, resulted in that goal.
Jacob rocking the octane this game as well. Player who's been known to mix it up, but probably most well known for the breakout. What was this? Garrett G comes out with the hat trick.
I think this actually went on Fairy Peak for the final touch. Garrett tries to follow this through, gets one more front flip to push it. Fairy Peak tried to read the initial trajectory, but he will be the one to sink it in. 4 goals with about half the game left. NRG are on fire.
Now the one upside for this for Mocket is that there is half the game left. Plenty of time to come back into this, but 4 goals, it would be a monumental comeback. Only happened once before in RLCS. And you can hear the crowd. They don't realize we're in DFH, but hey, I'll take the Manfield cheers. K-Dot will play it over to the side. Fairy Peak now, shot downfield. Fireburner into the corner. Garrett G sets up in net. Fireburner does not make contact. It'll be Garrett G who has to make the block. Puts it out to his teammate. Jacob over the top of Mystic. Quick read. Avoiding the 50-50, just getting an outright touch. And Fireburner now into the middle. Did Jacob rotate? No, he's right there. Got the demo, puts it straight into the box. Fairy Peak has to make the save, and K-Dot will get the clear. Mocket avoiding the lead extending for now, but still trapped in front of their own box.
I was expecting physical play to come if NRG were facing a little more of a difficult situation, but even 4-0 up, Jacob is just trying. Can Fireburner beat both defenders? Can he push it through? K-Dot.
K-Dot, the closer support player of the two teams, will be able to get the clear. Garrett G now with another opportunity. Nobody in net. Can they finish it off? Fireburner goes far post. That's 5-0 for NRG.
Completely outpacing Mocket right now in every way. You heard Garrett saying they might have been a bit worried about their rotations, but so cleanly. And I love that Garrett knows not to just shoot for net. He had to beat out that defender, so he put it to the backboard as opposed to taking the shot, but it gave his teammate an even better opportunity.
Yeah, his shot, he had the opportunity there, but it was going to be a difficult shot to make, and to try and attempt the shot means you might get a post bounce or a corner bounce, and it would just go off in some random direction. This way, putting it on the backboard gives Fireburner an easy shot there to all but solidify a victory here in game number 1, up by 5. Mocket yet to score. The home field advantage coming in strong right now, and Fireburner is just going to continue to push this one. It's trapped in the blue again, Carpet.
4 shots to 6 right now. NRG, I cannot believe this. Actually, it's 8 shots, but still 5 of those going in. Their accuracy is on point, their pressure's on point. Mocket just cannot break through right now.
Well, so many of these goals have gone in on defensive lapses, just finding holes in the rotation, figuring out when they're going to be out of net and being able to send the ball back into the box. Right now, NRG full control of this game. The ball's in their corner, but it doesn't matter. It'll move back out. Garrett G takes a shot straight down midfield. Fireburner with the zone. K-Dot will be unperturbed, and he will be able to get that out of the corner. But with 15 seconds left, down by 5, that's a goal every 3 seconds. That is not happening here. NRG will take game number 1. They'll put in 1 more. There's 10 seconds left here. 2 goals away from a Brazil. How much of a statement would that be?
A little salt in the wound this goal is for Mocket right now. But bear in mind, everyone, this is the first best of 7 of the day. This is a test of endurance.
Yes.
Can NRG keep this up? A lot of teams we see, they come out strong first or second game, and then it gives the other team enough time to try and read what they're doing, figure it out, and turn it around. But will NRG be able to keep this up?
That is the advantage of the best of 7. Mocket still has 3 games left to figure it out before they will drop down to the lower bracket to face Northern Gaming. But so much, we have seen so many series where one game goes so much in one direction and then game 2 is completely different. Mocket Esports, a team that can bounce back as much as anybody else, still very much in this. I am excited to see what they bring in game 2.
Bounce back or not, Wave, that was a 6-0 game.
That was ridiculous.
We're talking upper finals, and they were still able to put the #1 European seed into a 6-0 loss in the first game of their series.
And both of these teams have not played yet today. This is the first time we've seen both of these teams on the stage. They've been scrimming down below, but still, the stage is a different deal. The nerves can get there, the jitters can get there, and right now, NRG in top form. Hopefully, Mocket can shake it off, give us a series here in game 2.
And Gibbs did bring up a good point. The audience is heavily in NRG's favor, and I know that's got to be enough to fuel anyone. Hearing them cheer, I mean, all I have to do is say their name, and the crowd starts to go insane.
Yeah.
Jacob, all he has to do is look the right direction, and everyone starts to scream his name.
I mean, think about the power he has right now. If he just stands up and just lifts his hands, the crowd will respond.
I wish you could hear us.
Yeah,
He'd
right?
totally do it.
He totally would. But luckily, the players in a competitive environment, they're going to be trapped inside their little headphones and just be trying to compete for the best in the world here.
6-0, only 4 shots for Mocket. And the accuracy from NRG, all of their plays amounted in so much. Garrett starting out hot, and he's not the kind of player that tends to cool off. So he will stay this hot the rest of this series and potentially the rest of the day.
Can Mocket bounce back here in game 2? We'll move on to Manfield. We'll see how they respond after the dominant performance from NRG in game number 1. Garrett G and K-Dot set to go on kickoff. Garrett G solid touch into the air, and then the demo opens up a smoke screen for Jacob. He bounces that one down. Fireburner shoots, puts it in. It's been 6 seconds, and they're right back where they left off.
So many good plays. The demolition on Garrett wasn't enough. Watch how Fireburner opts for the low shot, knowing that K-Dop wants to try and predict it. He had no choice. K-Dop at that point was just a shot in the dark. Fireburner kept it down low, proving that he is one of the best strikers in the world.
The demo creating the smoke screen and the confusion just works out well for Jacob as he's able to send it straight into the box. And Fireburner finishes it off. Here they come again. Jacob airborne, Fairy Peak to clear it away, but Garrett G at the midfield to try and keep the pressure on. No presence in the mid will mean that Fireburner has to clear it off from the side, but Jacob will rotate in behind. He'll see if he can win these 50-50s out, get the ball back into the blue.
I think it's really easy to underestimate how strong NRG is on defense.
My goodness, what a play.
Trying to bait out Fairy Peak. He does get a 50-50.
I'm not sure Fireburner realized that Fairy Peak was the last player back and he was in the corner. But either way, oh, the chance for the Fireboy. If only he could hear, the support would come through. But Fairy Peak in the midfield. He's got Garrett G. Oh, he passes to Fireburner. That wasn't the player he meant to connect with. Fireburner's going to take a shot. Mystic will get the save. First minute will now come and go. They do not score any more here, but the first goal could be enough to do it for NRG.
Only 2 shots for them, and Maket has yet to put a single shot anywhere near the net. They're trying to surmount as much as they can, but NRG is just ruthless.
Fireburner trying to push out of his corner. Jacob lofts. Allows Fireburner to move in. They'll switch the rotation in the other direction. Jacob with the clear out to midfield. Garrett G already up there, cherry picking at midfield to move that one down farther. Consecutive touches here from Maket, move it back into the orange. An opportunity lofted in the midfield if K-Dop can go, but he does not. He respects the presence of Fireburner and Garrett G. Position of NRG holding on right now, but the shot there as it comes from Maket. Fairy Peak puts him on the board. We got a tie game.
There's the passing play. Mystic knowing if he put it to the corner, Jacob would have easily cleared it, so instead he opts to go towards midfield where Fairy Peak is waiting with a strike to the crossbar.
The quick passes from the outside and then back to the inside. Maket ties it up here. We got a game on our hands. 3:20 left to go in game 2. A win here for Maket would tie it up in the series. NRG will do the best they can to extend that lead to 2 games. K-Dop trying to set up Mystic here. Jacob shuts it down. Plays a pass, Fairy Peak, pitches up high and then drops back. Jacob on the side, the pass to the middle. There's no teammates in support. K-Dop picks it up. Now Mystic, can he do this to drop it back to Fairy Peak? It'll go to the corner, and Garrett G gets set up in net for NRG. He'll come out, pass towards Fireburner. They'll be looking for Jacob, who was moving out on the far side of the field. With that clear back in the direction, reversing the rotations. Jacob will fall back into 3 position. Fireburner taking a shot. Mystic will block it away, but Jacob keeps that pressure on. NRG looking to get that lead back.
They pulled out now 2 defenders. No one is in net. Mystic and K-Dop stuck in the corner, but NRG will relieve a bit of pressure.
Just cross halftime, still tied up in game 2. Jacob to wrap this one around the top. It drops in front. K-Dop gets there just in the nick of time to save it. It's still tied up, and he'll look for the clear. Fairy Peak's in a great position to take a shot downfield. It goes high off the corner, but he'll come in with the follow-up there. Taking a shot again, does not make contact. Jacob will be able to clear.
Well, NRG has a lot of control. The counterattacks from Maket seem to be proving quite strong. Jacob barely getting there in time, but can he put a shot? 2 defenders up for it.
K-Dop in the clear. Garrett G bouncing off of Mystic, has an opportunity here. Fairy Peak is there first. Make contact before Garrett G can make a touch on the ball. Now Jacob over the top of 2. The shot towards the net. It goes in past all the defenders. The speed from the MVP gives NRG the lead.
It appears right now that NRG is out rotating Maket Esports, probably relieving a bit for Garrett G. Jacob beating out all 3 players. Fairy Peak in the corner thinking that he had time for it, but Jacob, over both of his teammates, was able to put the shot far post.
And now 1:44 left to go. NRG a win here will put them up 2-0 in our best of 7. Fireburner to try and clear it. Now Garrett in the midfield will play it past Mystic. An excellent touch there. He's got the opportunity to pass it back down, but K-Dop's positioning will block it away, send it back out to Mystic, and Fairy Peak has the opportunity here. He's gonna go for the zone on Jacob.
Oh!
Gets the demos, but did it bounce off Fairy Peak?
I couldn't tell, but 2 NRG players demoed at the same time.
Garrett G try and play this one down. Fireburner back away. Jacob in the corner, or in the goal rather. He'll be able to pinch that one past Jacob for 50-50 it on the ground. Now Fireburner underneath, up towards Jacob, lofted in the midfield. Final minute of game 2. Nobody in net, but Mystic will be there in the quarter field. The shot from Jacob blocked away by Fairy Peak. He'll be able to play this one over the top. NRG in the corner, Mystic with the setup, K-Dop in the middle, he'll take a shot, but it goes wide, blocked away by Fireburner on the rotation. He'll look to block it away again from the spider position, but he'll rotate now as Garrett G will go out to the corner. Fireburner will pick it up in goal, now Jacob in behind. Solid rotations on defense right now from NRG. They have pressure in front of their net, but there's the breakaway. Fireburner, he'll be able to put this one, and it's a 2-goal game for NRG.
A few missed opportunities from Maka, and they will feel the pain now as NRG gets an easy touch as Mystic misreads that bounce. 3-1, spreading that lead with only 25 seconds left.
25 seconds remaining. Down by 2 and down 1 in the series. Jacob will look to play this one away. Fairy Peak over the middle. K-Dop to drop it back down. Jacob, Mystic through, it'll go in. It's a 1-goal game. Mocket's making the work happen here.
Can they pull it off? We saw Northern Gaming just do it previously. Only 12 seconds for them. Fairy Peak actually bumping Jacob out, but I don't think he would have gotten very good contact on that. I think they finally got out-rotated there, but with 12 seconds left, can NRG maintain this lead?
We'll see off this kickoff. Goes over to the side. This is similar to how their first goal was scored, but this time K-Dop gets the clear. Mystic in the air, had the positioning. Fairy Peak is also here in support. Can he drop it down? Out to K-Dop, the shot into the net. Mystic puts it through. The buzzer beater will go to overtime, game 2.
Keeping their composure, Fairy Peak following this to make sure Jacob couldn't clear it out. Dunks it through. Fireburner outpaced by K-Dop, and Mystic there to secure the shot going into overtime.
This is the European regional champion here. This team, they looked sloppy there in game number 1, but game 2, they have brought it golden goal here. Jacob to try and shoot it through. NRG has the opportunities. Oh, it's in front of the box there, but K-Dop will get the clear. Downfield, Mystic versus Fireburner, puts it through, and we've got a tie series.
Talk about turning it around. Mystic waiting in midfield for this hard clear from K-Dop, who gets it just around Jacob. Fireburner was so close to contesting that. Only 14 seconds into that overtime, and Mocket Esports will tie up the series 1-1.
Just like that. We've got a series on our hands. We're guaranteed at least game 6 here, or game 5 rather. But oh my goodness. The European champions bouncing back at the end there. It looked like NRG had that completely under control, but no. You see, that was like 3 goals in like 30 seconds.
That's probably a bit crushing for NRG, but again, a reminder, best of 7. This is the first one of this tournament. We haven't seen this yet. This is a big test of endurance. Can they keep up the fire? Mocket Esports, they definitely are showing they still have it in them, but after a 6-0 loss, I don't know how they were able to turn that around.
We'll see if they can bounce. Who is going to be able to take the lead here in game 3? As we are now tied up at 1 apiece. Mocket Esports making quick work, exactly tied up here on shots, but the 0-second goal, we can take another look at the way that they were able to keep this game alive here in game 2. It took 3 players here from Mocket.
I mean, that was definitely on Fairy Peak to follow that through. That first touch from Jacob would have probably cleared it and it may have touched the ground, but after that, his teammates were there in support.
So game 3 will move on to Utopia Coliseum, one of my favorite stadiums. We'll see who is able to take the lead. NRG looked so strong, and this is exactly what we talked about with Rocket League. 6-0 for NRG in game number 1, and then an overtime goal winner for Mocket in game 2. These teams could not be more close in skill despite the scoreline of game number 1. Mocket ever alive in the series. Fairy Peak will send that one down. Clear downfield, is this going in? No, Mystic will be able to pop it up, but Garrett G's right there in support. He'll put that one through. NRG strikes first 3 games in a row.
This unfortunate 50-50. I think it went just off K-Dop. It was a blue trail, so it definitely went off of some Mocket player. It's really unfortunate, but I think he just got beat to the ball. It didn't really need to touch him. He didn't affect it much. But again, another immediate goal from NRG.
Not a direct own goal, but today has been a day for own goals, surprisingly, for many teams in many series. Jacob to play this one away. The cheers for the defender of NRG from the crowd. Jacob now on the wall with Fireburner in support. He'll move to the middle looking for the pass from Mystic. The clear from Mystic rather, he'll get it. Send it back downfield. K-Dop to the corner, Mystic's there, but Garrett G, great pressure, drops it down towards Fireburner. K-Dop and Fairy Peak both in the air. K-Dop will be the one who's able to clear Fairy Peak, makes a touch as well. Oh, Mystic downfield. Bouncing off, K-Dop taking the shot, cleared by Fireburner. They hold on the defense, holding on to this 1-goal lead. Fairy Peak dropping it out towards Mystic, but over the top of his teammate means that Garrett will be able to transition into offense. Mystic is airborne, but he's very, very high. Manages to get contact, but it passes more towards Jacob than towards his team. And that'll mean that NRG is able to keep some offensive pressure. K-Dop gets a good clear into the corner now, and he and Fairy Peak on the side. The Fireburner is able to put it all the way back into the blue. Jacob over, Fairy Peak takes a shot. NRG with the save, 3:40 left to go. NRG holding on to the 1-goal lead.
And you can tell NRG are spreading out. They want to make sure they don't get counterattacked by Market since it's what they suffered from the previous game. They're getting back in time. Only 2 shots for Market Esports and 2 shots for NRG. Relatively quiet from both teams.
Fireburner into the middle, off the wall. Fairy Peak intercepts. Jacob in the back. A lot of space right now from NRG. They win the 50-50 against K-Dop in the air. He moves it up to the corner. The Mystic's able to push it through Fireburner, which means that they can push it straight back out to middle. Garrett G was not ready for that. Jacob with the pinch, winning so many 50-50s right now here for NRG. Big part of what's keeping them up here on the offense. Garrett G set up towards the side, bounces off the corner. Both Fireburner and Jacob up. I hope Garrett G's falling back here. He's got to intercept. He's the last line of defense. He'll go up. He'll miss contact. Can anybody finish? There's Fairy Peak from the side. We got a tie game.
Double commitment, even when you're up by 1 goal, is a huge mistake. Both Jacob and Fireburner, they must not have communicated, and Garrett G running out of boost on defense, unable to get that before it hits the crossbar. An easy shot to tie it up for Fairy Peak.
Very similar goals on both sides of the ball here for game 3. The defender not able to make the touch he needs to. And then just a quick cleanup. One from Fairy Peak there. We'll tie up the game. We're tied up in the series. 1 apiece in the game, 1 apiece in the series. A best of 7. Winner moves into the grand finals of the World Championships. Jacob out to Garrett, and Fireburner moves out in the 1 position. The aerial passes from Mocket, move it back out to midfield. Jacob gets it past the first. He'll look to be setting up Fireburner here. He'll move in, but Mystic gets the clear. Mystic now in the air. Garrett G back to Fireburner. Can he pop it over the top? Doesn't even need the touch, but K-Dop will get the clear. Jacob keeps that pressure on, but Mocket will be able to transition this back out to midfield, push it into the orange.
A little more threatening for NRG. They're trying to make sure they can get this lead again, but Mystic, will he follow this through? Almost getting it from K-Dop, just above the net.
Did not want to take that shot high. Could have given them the lead right there. The confusion was in the net. Fairy Peak. Now Mystic to K-Dop. Put it back into the corner. Fairy Peak will clean up. That moves Fireburner out of position. Garrett G, they get it past him. It's just Jacob in the back, and they get it through him as well. Fireburner will rotate as it took them a little while, and he had the time to move back. And he'll get it away from the goal. Lucky for him that one wasn't a little bit faster and on target. Now the ball has worked its way back to the blue. Through Garrett G once more. Jacob here will have to clear it off the post. Fireburner will let it pop off of his side wall. Go back outside. NRG just barely hanging on defense for the last 2 rotations.
They're starting to get outpaced a little bit. They need to be careful. Earlier in this game, we saw them a little more confident as they rotated back, but now Market Esports getting closer and closer with every single drive.
Fireburner will put this one high. Final minute of gameplay. As Fairy Peak drops this one nearly in. Garrett G saves it away. Fireburner trying to push it out. Soft touch. K-Dop able to move it, and Jacob misses on the wall too. Garrett G's 50-50 just drops back in front of the box, but then Jacob gets it off of his corner. Mystic downfield. It's Garrett G in the back who will clear it off to the side. Now K-Dop trying to push this one through. Jacob with the clear. K-Dop there on the wall. Just perfect positioning from this veteran player. Try and keep this ball on offense for Mocket. So we hit the final 30 seconds. Had an overtime in the last game. We might have another one here. We don't see a goal in the next 19 seconds. Garrett G out towards Jacob, but he does not have the pace. And this one will fall back in front of the NRG goal. Mystic up, trying to set up off the backboard. Fireburner puts extra pace on it as the final countdown happens. Mocket has had the extended offensive for the last few minutes, but they have to be able to get it through here in overtime, or we'll see, or in regulation. Will the ball touch? Jacob will let it go down. We'll have overtime 2 games in a row.
Can NRG score right off of kickoff as they have the past few games? And I'm expecting to see a bit more physical play. Both teams a bit quiet on the demolitions.
Mystic over to the side. Fireburner in the air, shot towards the net. Fairy Peak's not there. He puts it through. NRG's up in the series.
What is it with kickoffs again? That's the 3rd one within 10 seconds off of kickoff that NRG NRG are able to put it down, opting for the bounce shot as opposed to direct. He found himself too high above the ball, but still wanted to put pace on it. NRG now up 1 game in the series.
Such beautifully fast play there from NRG in the overtime, making quick work of Mocket. Garrett G with 4 shots here and 2 saves all over this pitch for NRG right now. And NRG playing like the champion team we know them to be.
He's now earned 2 nicknames, Oh My Garrett and Superman, and for good reason.
I
4
mean,
shots and 1 goal. He's to be the best player on one of the best teams has to be something that's just unbelievable.
I mean, have you looked at him?
Yeah.
He legitimately looks like Clark Kent.
He
and
really
he
does.
plays like Superman. So I ship it. Easy.
I mean, we did see a lot less confident NRG in that game, though. The first game, 6-0. Talk about a domination, but they're a lot slower now. They're starting to respect Mocket as Mocket ramps up. Both of these teams are starting out strong, which I do like, since Mocket tends to snowball sometimes as well. But, I mean, now 1 game up, best of 7. There's so much Rocket League left to be played.
Now, the one player we did not see score a goal in this game from NRG was Jacob, but I felt like Jacob was playing exemplary in the rotation role, the sweeper role. He was winning a lot of the 50-50s, which was a big part of what was able to keep them up on the offense. Garrett G and Fireburner uncharacteristically missing things in the air. And if they want to be able to get another one of those 6-0 games, they'll need to be able to keep it clean like that. But Mocket right now taking advantage of mistakes from NRG, able to push this one up, keep that pressure on. They had the ball in the orange for so long. That's a big part of what's kept the European champions here in this game. K-Dop will try to push it through on the kickoff here at the beginning of game 4. But they will not get it right there. Mystic might get it though. No, Garrett G's got other ideas. He'll put it to the side. He'll get a second touch, and now he'll go for the dribbles. It's him versus K-Dop. He puts it over to the side, and K-Dop clears it away. Not today. We'll stay scoreless.
They want to keep up this pressure though, but now we're going to see a hard clear from Mocket. And speaking with Fireburner a bit backstage, he says that whenever Garrett G is back on defense, he has legitimately no worries. He's one of the strongest defensive players, even though he's such a good striker.
Fireburner, the read on K-Dop, puts it back to the corner. Jacob is also there. Lots of pressure right now from NRG. Garrett G, need to be looking, moving up. Fireburner now in the air. Misses contact. There it is again, the uncharacteristic misses right now. But Jacob will get the movement downfield. This will drop towards the box. Fairy Peak makes an uncharacteristic, that was quite the pretty flip he did. He'll go over to the side. They don't get punished yet. K-Dop will look to carry this one. See if he can set it out to Mystic here. Here's the pass, downfield to the corner. It'll be Fireburner who is there. He and Garrett G moving in. It'll bounce back around. This one favors Mocket. K-Dop's in the air, but Jacob will get it away. Nobody at home in the net, but Mystic off to the side will be able to clear it.
Mystic waiting back patiently. They don't want to give up any silly goals. They've let NRG score the first goal of every game, but if they can take the lead, they might be able to shut them out.
Mystic, oh, nice little juke on the sidewall to put it past Garrett, but there's Fireburner. That's why we have rotations. Jacob up across midfield. K-Dop has to fall back. The solid clear from Jacob is going to enable them to make an offensive push here. Garrett G off the side wall. Mystic on the top. Be able to play it back out. There's Jacob. Garrett G as well. These 2 players moving up. Fireburner now in the back. Jacob rotates. So Fireburner will let that one airball K-Dop to Mystic. The pass over to Fairy Peak, taking a shot downfield. He'll go high. He'll look for the follow-up, trying to drop it through, but does not get the lateral motion into the box. And now Garrett G out towards Jacob. No contact as well. 3 minutes left to go in this game. Still scoreless in game 4.
Surprising amount of open play, and I'm waiting for that signature NRG physical play. We saw an attempt at goalie earlier, but easily read by the Mocket defender. He jumped out of the way.
Soft touches from Garrett G and Fireburner's dangerous situation for NRG. Mocket going to look to pounce on that one. Well, there's the solid clear into the empty corner. K-Dop will fall back, but his touches are going to be soft as he wasn't ready for it. They'll be able to move that one through, back out and into the orange box, but Jacob has the clear out to midfield. Both teams playing patient, playing the rotation game. Fireburner out near Jacob. K-Dop with the shot back downfield. Garrett G on the wall to try and keep the momentum on the ball as they transition into offense. But so far, it's been difficult. They continually are having this situation where they loft the ball in the air and somebody misses a touch. And that just gives it back to their opponents on both sides right now.
Super dangerous play right now. NRG seeming a little bit sloppier than usual. They're not following it up, and they're not seeking each other out as much, but ooh, this is actually not a good place for Mocket.
K-Dop puts it over back towards his teammates. There was no pressure, no offensive movement from NRG, but Garrett G to try and take the shot does not go through K-Dop. 1:48 left to go. We are still scoreless in game 4. NRG leading the series by 1. The scoreline of 2-1 and a best of 7. Garrett G over to the side. Fireburner will be the first one out of goal. He'll put that one clear up to Garrett. This is a good opportunity. Jacob's in a decent position. He goes for the bump on Fairy Peak. Goes for the side boost. He'll move up now on the side. Looking for Fireburner in the mid. Try and get it past Mystic. It'll pinch high. Garrett G has to hightail it back as Mystic is coming screaming in here. He won't make the contact he was looking for. Fairy Peak will get it onto the backboard. Garrett G lofts it in front of the net, and Fireburner again soft touches, but he gets the pinch off the ground as it'll move it out. Now here's Jacob. Can he take the shot downfield? He'll meet up with Fairy Peak. That one will move back, and it's Garrett G on the backboard, the last line of defense. He'll drop in front of the net. Fireburner clears it away. Final minute of game 4, and we're still scoreless, Carpet.
This is not surprising at all. Although we see NRG, it seems like they're having a bit of pressure. Fireburner's missing a lot of things he's not used to. But something to note, both teams' defensive placements are incredible. Perfectly to the corner, always with a teammate there to follow up.
Garrett G over the top. Oh, here's a good opportunity. 3-man offensive pressure. Jacob goes for the bumps on net, but Fairy Peak intercepts on the side to block the shot from Fireburner. And now he's got an opportunity to shake a shot towards the net. Garrett G, he had the save, but it wasn't enough. Mocket's up.
They tried to throw everything on that last drive with the double demo, but Fairy Peak respawned in time to not only get the save, but also the shot on target. Such a good counterattack.
And that is Mocket with the lead. 31 seconds. We've seen comebacks like this before. NRG could send us to overtime for a 3rd game. But right now, Mocket looking in control. Jacob lurking in front of the net, just keeping Fairy Peak zoned out of his own goal. Okay, we'll put it over to the side. Fireburner back into the middle. Jacob moving up as well. He'll allow Garrett G to move it so he can move up and into the harasser position. It's in the box. Dangerous position as the final countdown happens, but it goes past Jacob. Fireburner will not be able to get anything active in that corner. They'll put a secure in just as the buzzer goes off, and that is Mocket tying the series back up 2-2.
NRG trying to throw everything in that last attempt, which gave an easy shot for Mocket Esports. Those aren't the goals we usually like to see, but it's inevitable when you know you're a goal down. You pretty much have no choice as it counts down. 2-2 in this best of 7. It couldn't be closer. The #1 seed against the #1 seed.
That's the way we want to see it right now. I want a Game 7 in this winners final. These teams so close right now. Such a defensive game here coming out from both sides. We only see really 1 goal scored in this game. The last one, as you said, scored on just kind of the last-ditch effort from NRG to send it through. But we had talked about it a few times during the game. I feel like we are seeing uncharacteristic misses coming out from not just NRG on both sides of the ball right now. Both teams maybe playing, feeling the nerves of how important this match is.
And remember, this is upper bracket, so I'm
Upper
surprised they
bracket
feel so
finals.
much. They have plenty of time. They can actually still take this loss and continue on. I mean, obviously, of course, they don't, but this should be just where they give it their all, and I see hesitation on both sides, but especially NRG. A lot of times I saw Jacob, he'd go all the way back to his half for boost, when in reality, he could have picked up a few of the smaller pads and kept the attack, which is what they did so well in game 1, which is what gave them a 6-0 victory. So I'm surprised that they're hesitating, but I think after seeing what Mocket is capable of, they're starting to second-guess their decisions.
Yeah, and to compliment Mocket Esports, they are doing an excellent job at keeping Jacob from being able to do Jacob things. And we see him moving out in the 1 position quite often, but he's rarely getting a demo or a successful bump. And even when he does, the teammates on Mocket who are not in goal are able to stop the shot from coming through from the follow-up from NRG. So these sorts of things, very, very important right now as Mocket is tied up the series. The winner of this game in Game 5 will move on to match point. As Fireburner, can he get the early goal? He tries, but Mystic shuts him down. And it'll be Jacob on the side. He'll rotate back. Tries to cut it off in front. Garrett G also misses. This leaves just Fireburner with his wheels on the ground. He'll pop it over the top of Mystic now. He's got Jacob in support. They'll take the shot towards the net. And Fairy Peak will easily block. He's got Kate up in net to support as well. Very freed up to go and just tackle. Mocket will avoid that offensive rotation, that offensive cycle. Now Garrett G in the air. 50-50 drops in the midfield line. Jacob the clear onto the backboard. Very high-flying game right now for NRG. Fireburner misses again in the midfield. Mystic now with a bit of support. He gets it over the top of Garrett G, and he'll put it in. Mocket's up by 1.
Mystic baiting him with the weak touch. This first one's so weak, but the recovery, unbelievable. Getting down on the ground just in time to be able to jump yet again. Fireburner nearly able to try and pinch that out, but he wasn't able to get there in time. Mocket Esports will take the lead now for the 2nd game in a row.
2nd game in a row, and this time very early on rather than the 30-second goal we saw in Game 4. 3 players on the wall. K-Dop outright wins it. It's up to Garrett G, who misses on the side, but Fairy Peak trusted. He respected that Garrett G would have that one, and he backed off. So it'll be Mystic on the wall. Fireburner picks it up after the hard touch into the orange. K-Dop lurks in the back. Kind of caught in dead man's zone right now. If Fireburner had been able to get that one over the top, it would have been an easy goal. But this one popping back out towards K-Dop. He'll drop it in. Jacob gets the save while being messed with, but it doesn't matter because Fairy Peak's right there. Offensive rotations from Mocket has them up by 2.
Garrett forced into that first weak touch off that backboard. No one is waiting for it. They're letting so many of these go uncontested. Mocket just keeps slamming it above them over and over again until eventually one of them makes a bad touch.
This is starting to look like game number 1, but the other way around for Mocket right now. 3:40 left to go, and they're up by 2 already. Fairy Peak to place that one over the top of Fireburner. Garrett G now moving downfield, looking for the easy goal, but there's nothing easy at this level. K-Dop will be able to save that one away. Keep the pressure on here as NRG continues their offensive push. Fireburner looking on the wall. K-Dop over the top. He continue it into the middle. Nobody at home right now in net. Fairy Peak misses the touch, but K-Dop will be able to take the shot. So many options here for Mocket as they're up by 3.
The missed touch is actually what messed Jacob up. You can watch him waiting for the shot from Fairy Peak, and then he had to slow down, and that gave K-Dop all the room in the world to shoot it directly above him. 3 goals up, only 3 shots from NRG.
When K-Dop has a read option like that, he can just look at the field and decide what he wants to do. Jacob is hard pressed to block both opportunities. Now Mystic taking the shot towards the goal. This series has slowly swung more and more in favor of Mocket Esports, as they are now up by 3, the most substantial lead they've had all series. We're not even across halftime. Fireburner looking in the corner. Can he get it? Nope, but Mystic will play it over the top of him. Get demoed, but this one more favors Mocket. That demolition will spawn Mystic in the back and allow K-Dop and Fairy Peak just to move up. Jacob and Fireburner now in the midfield. The whiffs from Fireburner continue here, just not confident in his touches, and he gets demoed in front of his own net. Luckily for them, the shot is wide, or we'd be in a 4-goal game, but it's at halftime, and it's been entirely Mocket right now, Carpet.
NRG just does not trust themselves. They're not going for so many things. Mocket has full control of this field, and there's really nothing stopping them.
K-Dop in the corner, Jacob underneath. Shot towards the net, they have the opportunities to put it through. Nothing goes towards the net. Fireburner looking. Garrett G up towards Fireburner. Can he make the turn? No, he continues to fall back. No, it was just K-Dop in the back there. And Mystic, what a redirect towards the goal. Fireburner will get a savior medal to keep that one away. The defense from Fireburner has been on point this game, but still, they have to be able to get out and score. They have to make the solid touches on offense if they want to be able to take it to Mocket. Right now, Mocket has a stranglehold on this game.
NRG seems to be slowly unraveling so many missed touches and missed opportunities. They're not following up their own clears. They're just giving it back up in possession.
Jacob and Garrett G. Clear to the side. Fairy Peak with the follow-up. Over the top of Fireburner. With a shot towards the net. Jacob with the save. Holding on. Keeping the dream alive here. 1:20 left to go. Down by 3. It's hard work. But if NRG can pull it off, they would be able to send us to overtime. Jacob on the wall. Pass K-Dop. Winning the 50-50s is important right now for NRG. Just go back to the basics. Get these small touches under control and then work on your team plays. Garrett G rotates around behind Fireburner. Fireburner will go up, get the bump, and allow Garrett G to move the ball downfield. Fireburner on the wall, back out towards Jacob. No contact. This is killing time in the corner. So works so much in favor of Mocket right now. Garrett G goes for the bump on K-Dop. Can Jacob pass it out? The Mystic shuts it down again. Even when they get the bumps on the goalies, Mocket is able to push through and clear the defense, clear the play, and not allow NRG to have any opportunities. Fireburner will put this one in. 28 seconds left, down by 2. You think it's going to happen, Carpet?
I find it unlikely, but hopefully this will be a bit of motivation for them to come out a little bit hotter next game. They are not done yet. Remember, best of 7. First team to take 4 games is the one that will come out on top, so there's still a lot of time.
3-1, 26 seconds. Garrett G to Fireburner. Jacob lurking high upfield as only Jacob does. He drops it down. Garrett G puts it through.
What?
20 seconds left. What? It's a 1-goal game.
Watch this passing play. Fireburner out to Jacob from the back wall of Mocket. drops it down perfectly for Garrett G.
Oh,
There's the trust of NRG.
And that is the sort of thing that we have come to know Jacob for. Who's ready for the pass on the back wall? That's only Jacob who will do that. Now with 18 seconds left, Fireburner trying to push it in to enemy territory. At this point, the ball stays off the ground into 0. They can keep this game going as long as they want. The opportunity is always there. Fireburner towards Jacob into the midfield. K-Dub and Mystic on the defense. They'll put this one up high. Mystic will probably look just to slam this down, keep it away from NRG. It does not touch there. It stays on the wall. And Fireburner, though, you know the energy's got to be low for boost. Fairy Peak back down to the corner. Fireburner keeps it alive. There it'll touch. Mocket Esports dodges the comeback from NRG, and they will take the lead in the series.
They may have dodged the comeback, but I think they gave them a bit too much hope now. NRG is going to come out strong in this next game. We know they can get the kickoff goals. They did it in the first 2 back-to-back. They were able to score 2 goals in under 30 seconds there against Mocket Esports, nearly coming back, unprecedented. But Mocket keep their lead. They're now 1 game away from taking the series.
Yeah, the NRG was 20 seconds away from being shut out 2 games in a row there. You know that they're going to have some momentum back on their side, have some morale boosted back up by coming so close to winning that one. But we will see at this point, match point for Mocket. They win this next game. They move into the grand finals for the 2nd time in their org's history. They did it last season with a completely different roster, but this will be the 2nd time we've seen Mocket there. They might be able to pull it off. NRG is still looking for that 1st time.
I think Mocket is in full stride at the moment. They are in full control of the pitch. But NRG, their lack of confidence seemed to kind of falter there at the end. Finally, they started to be trusting each other. They were following up each other's touches. For most of that game, NRG were just throwing balls away. They'd clear it across, and they felt like, hey, maybe we'll wait for a slightly better opportunity. But if you wait all game for it, you're just going to get punished. And I think NRG are the type of team that has the mechanical skill to start tearing it away.
I want to see Fireburner stepping up and making the plays. I want to see him making the touches we know he can do. If they can make those sorts of turnaround here, we will go to Game 7. Game 6 right here. A win here from NRG will send us to the critical 1 game means all. Jacob gets the clear on the early attack here from Mocket. But a win from Mocket right now will end it and send NRG to the lower bracket, moving themselves into the grand finals. So much on the line with every game left in the RLCS Season 3 World Championships. Mystic will pitch that one in the middle. Pass K-Dub over towards Fairy Peak. He'll put that one back towards the box. K-Dub to lofted high. And Jacob now, seeing if he can get a clear off of the side wall. He'll look to bounce again. There he goes. Now down into the corner. Wrapping around, going to zone the goalie, but K-Dub already airborne. Not able to be interacted with. That'll mean Mocket has ball control again. They'll push it straight back into the orange corner. Solid clear from Garrett right back downfield. But you know, all the positioning right now is on this far side of the field. And Mocket's ready for it.
Fairy Peak always in that predictive positioning. On offense, he's cheating up to give his teammates a target to pass to. And on defense, he's on that back wall. He doesn't want to give NRG any easy opportunities. Uh-oh.
Mystic with K-Dub in support. It's just Garrett G in the net. Jacob comes in to help him out. Puts it over to the side. We'll stay at 0-0 here. Excellent positioning there from Mocket, but they're just not ready for the defensive maneuver coming from their back line, which is the sort of thing that only Jacob does. Jacob now upfield looking for a 2nd touch towards the goal. Pass Fairy Peak, it's wide. It'll create some pressure, an opportunity for an offensive siege. Fairy Peak gets a pass 1. Fireburner will just fall back. This will give possession back to Mocket. Mystic and K-Dub, bit of confusion there. They're able to move it into the box. But because both K-Dub and Mystic moved into the corner, there's no follow-up shot, and that'll give it back to NRG here. Trying to take the shot, Fireburner with the clear. Ball moving very rapidly around the field as both teams kind of taking one offensive opportunity and then backing off, allowing the other team to move back out.
Yeah, the back and forth is usually a result of playing safe and patiently, trying to find a better opportunity. You see something kind of okay, but if you dedicate too many players, they both know how quick their opponents are and can easily turn it around straight from defense to offense.
Fireburner to Jacob. The dynamic duo, been on a team 3 seasons in a row here. Fairy Peak trying to clear it out, but Garrett G right there. Mystic down the middle of the field. Jacob rather trying to turn in the mid, but thinks better of it. Passes from Fireburner to Garrett. Move it back into the corner. Now Mystic and Fairy Peak both on the wall. K-Dub rotates into net quickly as Jacob sets it up onto the backboard. Nobody's in the spider position. Fireburner will try to drop it through, but it's wide of the goal. Halftime come and gone, and we're still scoreless. I feel like I've said that so many times this series. These teams playing so safe, wanting to be the team that makes it to the grand finals.
They know that it's going to be just one fantastic opportunity, almost. Mystic reading that shot from Garrett G.
Mystic will get the save and the clear. And then Jacob will be able to meet up with Garrett G. Well, actually whiffs in the midfield, it'll be Jacob again. As Maka trying to move this one out. Fireburner as well, missing, but there, he won't miss that one. Nobody in net, but Mystic gets the clear in the quarter mid. Garrett will look to carry it over the top of K-Dop. This one will fall down. Jacob not in the line. Fireburner wins the aerial 50-50. He's gonna look to make a second dunk here, but Mystic will keep it trapped on the wall. Jacob moves up in support, and Fireburner rotates. Now in the midfield, here comes Garrett G from the side. Put it into the corner. K-Dop set up in net. Mystic will push this one out. That'll leave Fairy Peak back in the third position. He'll sweep in, rotate with K-Dop. Now Fireburner out towards Jacob. 50-50 working out in NRG's favor here. Fireburner lofts it high. Jacob looking for an opportunity, but doesn't like what he sees. Probably low on boost, gonna fall back and now move up. He takes that midfield. K-Dop to try and clear this one out. Still scoreless, final minute of game 6 approaching. Fireburner off the crossbar. Oh my goodness! That's disaster for Maka Esports.
With only a minute left, NRG trying to stay alive in the upper bracket. Fireburner gets a great 50-50. It bounces in, but Fairy Peak in a panic smacks it into the net himself. You said it, Wade Punk. So many own goals.
So many own goals today. These teams wanting it so desperately, and it creates the jitters, it creates the mistakes. 1 minute here. Mock it though. They've done it before in this series. Bounced back to beat NRG. Took them overtime last time, but it's only a 1-goal game right now. Anything can happen. Mystic passing to Fairy Peak. He takes the shot. It's blocked by Jacob. Are you kidding me? Fairy Peak so close to redeeming himself after causing the goal that has them in this deficit, but Jacob slams the door, and 30 seconds remaining. It's all NRG needs for game 7.
These counterattacks from Mucket are ruthless. NRG always barely making it back to defense, but a fantastic read from Fireburner will give him a bit more control.
Garrett G on the wall. Fireburner will rotate, and Jacob moves up into the second position. He'll now go for this shot. Picking it up, looking for the securing goal. He has 3 players in the corners, just Mystic on the side. Final countdown. NRG holds on to this. We'll go to game 7. Garrett G and Fireburner both missed. Lots of support here from Mocket as K-Dop will try to loft it towards the goal. Doesn't bounce down, it hits the ground. We'll go to game 7.
Absolutely. So close there. Mocket, it seems at the moment it turns 0 seconds. They all go Super Saiyan. They know exactly what it takes to try and get the final drive, but NRG gaining a bit of confidence with that touch. I'd like to see them utilizing the midfield a bit more. They keep relying on the backboard, and Mocket's not a team that's going to let that happen. They know how strong of a striker Fireburner and Garrett are, and they know that Jacob's always there in the mix to interrupt. They know the demos are coming their way, so they're stopping these drives before they come anywhere near their net.
Yeah.
I think NRG relies too much on the backboard, and you can see all of Mocket's counterattacks, midfield passing plays. They end up in 2v1s. Thankfully, NRG's pretty dang good on defense, so they're able to suppress a lot of it. But right now, NRG, they're just a little bit short of what they can be.
They are holding on. That would have been the 3rd buzzer beater this series for Mocket if they had been able to put that one in, which would have blown my mind. The second one not mattering as much as they were already in the lead, but they had already tied it up once before. They had all the support. That one falling and touching the ground. We will not see overtime in game 6, but we will see the decisive game 7. The winner of the next game moves into our grand finals for season 3. Make some noise, Will Turn. I want to hear it for NRG. I want to hear it for Mocket Esports. Both these teams have come so far to make it here, and is they're 1 game away for competing for the top team in the world. Guaranteed a top 2 finish in season 3 of RLCS. Garrett G will win the initial kickoff touch, but K-Dop outright will finish the kickoff into the orange. Jacob up to Fireburner. Fairy Peak, better read in the air, looking to finish this one off. Does not go through, and you know Fairy Peak is looking to redeem himself after that last game. What a save from Garrett G. Will this go the whole field? No, Fairy Peak will send it away. It was above the goal either direction. Either way. It'll be Jacob now moving this one up the field. The last game decided by an own goal from Fairy Peak. He'll be looking to redeem that here. As he goes airborne, puts it onto the backboard. K-Dop doesn't like his options. He'll fall back and let Mystic take the shot. Fireburner with the clear. Jacob now in control of the ball into the corner. Can he whip this one around? Out to Garrett, the shot towards the net. Fairy Peak with the save. But Fireburner will come high flying through. Be able to keep this pressure on, try to drop it through again. That's 3 players tangled up for Mocket, and Jacob, only man in the back. He'll pinch it high. Can they finish this off? Garrett G will play it off the backboard.
Whoa.
Close call there for NRG, but they survive through. Still scoreless as the first minute comes and goes.
I get why Jacob bailed on that attack, but I think he had a pretty good 50-50 on his favor, almost just putting it on target, but it will get blocked away by Mocket.
Fireburner looking for Garrett. He'll miss contact, but Garrett G will get it off the backboard. Jacob comes in, takes the shot. What? Fairy Peak was right there, and Jacob finds a way through.
How did he sneak this angle? Fairy Peak came a bit too much from the side, waited too long for the front flip. Jacob knew he had to put it as far left as possible. He finds it. 1 goal up, 3:36 left, game 7.
1 goal might be all they need, Carpet. As K-Dot plays this one down. Mocket, never a team to be counted out. The shot from Mystic, blocked by Fireburner, who is followed up and demoed by Mystic. He was not happy about that shot being saved. K-Dot will take another shot. This one goes through. Fireburner's not there in time. We got a tie game at game 7.
They are finding all the unconventional ways to take these shots from the side as well. No one expecting it. Jacob wanted that 50-50 more than anything. And I don't know with reaction time if there's any way Fireburner could have reacted to that in time so quick.
You saw him give it his darndest. He was flipping. He was like, I'm trying to get it. Could not get there. We have a tie game in game 7. Jacob with the follow-up here into the corner. But K-Dub will just keep it away from him. And Jacob will bump him to try to make it through, but that's 2 players now out. Jacob will get the save. Savior medal already in game 7 for Jacob. Fireburner will send this one high. Jacob down the field now. No follow-up from NRG. Will give ball control back to K-Dop. We'll move this one deep upfield. Mystic was lurking on the orange half. Fairy Peak taking the shot. There's 3 players right now from NRG. They'll finally spread out. They were all in the corner there. As we approach halftime, an exciting first few minutes is slowed down considerably in game 7, but Fireburner off the backboard. Garrett G in the air. Can the third touch come through? He drops it for Jacob, and Fireburner will get the clear before Jacob can come in and slam it home. It'll be Jacob now in the 1 position. We saw him season 2, extremely deadly in that first rotation on offense. Garrett G will get the save. What a position. Just the double jump all he needed. Fireburner with another save away. So much defense right now from NRG as they are trying to claw their way into the grand finals.
8 saves for NRG. That is not the kind of stat you want to see. So many shots getting near net. You want to try and cut those off at the source if you can.
This ball is spending so much time in the orange half right now. They need the solid clear. They need the offensive pressure. They'll get it over the top of Fairy Peak, and he'll just get cleared along with Jacob. But this ball still, no solid touches moving it all the way into the blue. It's barely making it past the midfield line. Jacob now over to the side. Ian Garrett G. Fireburner over the top. Again, the ball in the orange corner. Mocket playing like they want it right now. 1 goal could do it on either side. Jacob trying to put it through, but K-Dop is there. He and Garrett G will fall back and let Fireburner move up, but he misses contact. Now K-Dop has the opportunity to score, but Garrett G, the wall of defense, can he do it again? No! Mystic puts it in, and Mocket has the lead.
They made the mistake bailing on that offense. Both players retreating, no one contesting it. Garrett had no choice but a weak touch, and Mystic, that is the counterattacks we've seen from Mocket all series long.
We've seen them win in this series with just 1 goal. 1 minute and 13 seconds for NRG to come back into this. And if Mocket can hold on, they will be through to the grand finals. Fairy Peak in the air. Over the top, K-Dop to try and extend the lead. Mocket wanting to secure that victory, keeping this offensive pressure on, not turtling up in goal. Fairy Peak to put it past, but Fireburner with an opportunity into the midfield. Nobody there to follow up as Garrett G had fallen back. Fairy Peak will send this one down. K-Dop gets demoed. That'll leave a defender in the back though. Making the breakaway all but impossible. Fireburner now to the corner. Garrett G on the top, back down the middle. Fireburner trying to get the doink on the retreat. Fairy Peak now back down the side. 30 seconds remaining in Game 7, down by 1. And here's the start of an offensive push, but Mystic in the midfield will just put it straight back into the corner. It's been here so long. Mocket in control on the offense. They need the breakaway opportunity. That one will lose them ball control. Jacob puts it back into the middle, but Fireburner all the way in the back. He'll get the back pass from Garrett. As the final countdown happens, where's Jacob? They need their star player to make the plays for them. Mystic will play this one down the field. Jacob trying to pop it up, but Mystic says no, shuts it down. Fairy Peak just wants to slam it down. Can they get the full court carry? It's what NRG needs. No, it'll touch the ground, and Mocket will finish at least top 2. They are through to the grand finals.
So many saves on both teams, 10 plus saves for each of these teams. I didn't want to do the math there. What is that, 12 saves for Mocket Esports?
Oh my goodness.
12 saves, which means NRG kept putting on the shots.
Save?
Oh, sorry, those are shots, my bad.
Shots, yeah.
12 shots for Mocket Esports.
I was gonna say 2 + 2 is 4.
They're the same letters. I'm just glancing at it. 12 shots for Mocket Esports. That is just so much pressure. NRG were just hesitating so much. Every time they'd go up for an offensive attack, the moment that they thought Mocket could come any close to contesting it, they just back off. But 50-50s will work in their favor. Fireburner, he picks the Batmobile for a lot of that reason. It is so strong with 50-50s, and he wouldn't do it. But now Mocket, undefeated so far here at LAN, they will move forward. NRG, they're not out yet. This is the uppers. They will now move down to the lowers.
They'll move down to the lowers. We will see NRG in the next match. They will be playing to have a chance to go into the grand finals once more. We will have the third place, the lower finals, to decide who finishes third and who pushes through to the grand finals. That'll be coming up next. But I also want to point out, I think this is 2 times now that we've seen the desk 100% all pick one way and have them be wrong. They all picked flip side against Leftovers, I believe, and Leftovers totally won that. And then they all pick NRG, and Mocket's like, nah, Gibbs. That was Gibbs' perfect record right there. And he
lost to the one prior.
He gave up faith. Oh, did he?
He lost on the flip side.
Oh, you know, I kind of just said that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm
it's
silly.
Cool.
He lost his perfect record earlier, but he should have. Yeah, my point still stands. He should have kept his faith in Mocket.
Yeah.
Look at these guys play.
At least it was a Game 7, and I think NRG put up a good fight. And they are legitimately just those little mistakes away from being just as dominating as they were earlier. I really think it's just a hesitation. The moment they seemed like they had control, they'd all back off. There was a point where Jacob and Fireburner, one of them kind of needed to just get in the way. Even if you know you don't have a good touch, generally, even if you know you can't actually get a 50-50, you want to force your opponent to at least try and get a flick, which means they no longer have full control. Their car's not next to it, they've now pushed it away, and then your teammate can come take it. And since they weren't doing that, they had so much control. You saw how many midfield passes that Mocket had, and that's how they were able to put so many fantastic shots against NRG.
Well, I want to hear from some of the Mocket players. We have Joey standing by with Fairy Peak. After the 7-game thriller Mocket has won, let's send it over to the stage.
All right, guys. Fairy Peak of Mocket here. How about that performance by this guy? You guys started off, it was a tragic beginning to this series. It looked insanely one-sided. How did you guys manage to claw your way back into this one?
First, we screamed like Daniel, and we lost every match we did like a 4-1. So when we come here, we wasn't confident a lot, but we tried to be energetic and a lot of communication, and now we won, so it's perfect.
There you go. Come into that Game 7, first goal from K-Dop, that snipe. Did that hype you guys up for the rest of that last game?
Yeah, like we scream every time we had a goal, and K-Dop is very good at scoring. He's the scorer of the team, so when he scored this insane goal in the Lucan, it was perfect. We were really happy about that. And after, I don't remember who scored, I think it was Mystic. And yeah, it was the most beautiful day when he scored at 1 minute left. So yeah, we was really happy.
Very cool. Well, that puts you through to the championship game. Are you guys excited about this?
Yeah, a lot, of course. RLCS is the biggest tournament of the game. Everybody in this team loves this game. Everybody here loves this game. So, of course, it's a fucking wonderful day.
Well done, guys. Give it up for Fairy Peak on Mocket, guys. Take it away, guys, over there.